If you watched Spirited Away as a kid, you probably remember being confused, maybe a little scared, and somehow completely obsessed. And if you watched it as an adult, you probably realized something terrifying. This isn't just a cute Studio Ghibli film. It's a movie about growing up, losing yourself, remembering who you are, and surviving a world that doesn't care if you're ready. Released in 2001, it didn't chase trends, didn't explain itself, and didn't care if you fully understood it the first time. And somehow, it became one of the most beloved animated films of all time. It won an Oscar. It broke box office records in Japan. And 2 decades later, people are still discovering new details hidden inside it, like the fact that this movie was basically a big improv project, or that Chihiro was actually real. That's why today, we're rewinding the clock and diving into 10 weird facts you didn't know about Spirited Away. First, let's talk about how everything was made. 1. Spirited Away was made without a script. Most movies start with a script. Spirited Away didn't. Just a vague idea and a stack of storyboards. Hayao Miyazaki began production without a finished screenplay. Miyazaki has said that he discovers the story as he goes, letting characters guide the narrative instead of forcing them into a rigid structure. Entire scenes were created, changed, or removed during production based on how the film felt in the moment. That's why Spirited Away flows like a dream instead of a traditional 3-act movie. Things happen, then drift away. Characters appear, disappear, and return changed. It moves the way memories move, the way dreams do. And it was intentional because Miyazaki let it be unpredictable, and that's exactly why it feels so alive. Now this next fact makes even more sense. 2. Miyazaki personally oversees almost everything. When people say Hayao Miyazaki made Spirited Away, they don't know the half of it. Miyazaki didn't just direct the film. He storyboarded the scenes, revised dialogue, supervised animation, adjusted character designs, and personally corrected scenes that didn't match his vision. Studio Ghibli isn't a big assembly line studio. It's closer to a workshop. And Miyazaki is involved in everything. The New Yorker once called him the auteur of anime. He's the kind of director who notices if a character blinks the wrong way. This obsessive attention to detail is why Spirited Away feels so cohesive. Every frame carries intention. Every movement has weight. Nothing feels rushed. Nothing feels careless. And that hands-on approach connects directly to why the film's main character feels so real. 3. Chihiro was based on a real girl. Chihiro wasn't designed to be a typical animated hero. She's scared, she complains, she doesn't even want to be brave, and that was the point, because she was inspired by a real child. Miyazaki based Chihiro on the daughter of his close friend. After announcing his retirement in 1997, Hayao Miyazaki took a small break and invited friends to his mountain cabin. One of them brought his daughter along, and she was joined by other girls around her age. They were all about 10 years old, on the edge of adolescence, quiet, a little awkward, and in Miyazaki's words, deeply uninterested in the world adults kept trying to sell them. Miyazaki realized there were almost no movies made for girls like them. Most media aimed at young girls were obsessed with romance, crushes, and becoming cute, and he didn't think that reflected what these girls actually cared about. So he decided to make a movie where girls like these could be the heroes. That's where the heroine came from. And that personal inspiration didn't stop with Chihiro. It also shaped the world around her. 4. The river spirit came from a real cleanup. One of Spirited Away's most unforgettable scenes is the filthy river spirit revealed to be a polluted god. That moment came straight from Miyazaki's life. Years before making the movie, Miyazaki took part in cleaning a polluted river near his home. What came out of that water wasn't magical at all. It was trash, sludge, rotting debris, even a bicycle stuck at the bottom. That experience stayed with him. So when the stink spirit shows up in Spirited Away, it's not just there for shock value. It's literally a river god that's been clogged up with human waste. And once Chihiro helps clean it, the The spirit reveals its true form and floats away like nothing happened. It's environmental storytelling at its finest. This is only one example of how meaning is hidden inside small details. There's more. 5. The characters' names tell you who they are. In Spirited Away, nothing was random, not even the names. When Chihiro starts working at the bathhouse, Yubaba takes part of her name and renames her Sen. That's not a nickname. It's a loss of identity. Her name is literally taken from her, just like her parents, her memories, and her sense of self. Yubaba's name literally means something like hot spring witch or bathhouse crone, which fits perfectly because she rules the bathhouse and hoards wealth. Her twin sister Zeniba has a similar name, but her personality is the opposite. She lives simply, values kindness, and represents balance instead of greed. Then there's Haku. His name is short for Nigihayami Kohakunushi, the name of the river he once was. When the river was destroyed, he lost his name and his identity, just like Chihiro almost does. In Japanese culture, names hold spiritual weight. Losing your name means losing yourself. And this idea of subtle storytelling leads us into something you might not have consciously noticed. 6. Those quiet moments have a name. Spirited Away is full of silent scenes. Chihiro riding the train, no face, staring at the water. Wind moving through empty spaces. These moments are called ma. Ma is a Japanese concept that refers to intentional emptiness or pause. It's the space between actions, the breath between words. Miyazaki believes modern movies are too loud, too fast, and too eager to explain themselves. Ma allows the audience to feel instead of being told what to feel. But when the movie crossed the ocean, the American version added a little extra explanation. 7. The American version added extra dialogue. When Spirited Away was prepared for American release, the English dub included additional lines of dialogue. These weren't mistranslations. They were intentional additions meant to clarify moments Western audiences might find confusing. Small explanations were added during silent scenes to guide viewers through the story. Miyazaki allowed the changes, but he has always been vocal about his dislike for over-explaining. But despite the added dialogue, the film's heart still came through, thanks to the people who fought for it. 8. Pixar helped bring Spirited Away to the world. Before Spirited Away went global, it needed a champion. John Lasseter, the Pixar guy behind Toy Story and Cars, was blown away when Studio Ghibli animators visited Disney. Later, he visited Ghibli himself, and ignoring warnings that Miyazaki hated computer animation, showed him Luxo Jr. and Red's Dream. Miyazaki loved them, and a friendship was born. When it came time for the English dub, Miyazaki asked Lasseter for help. He convinced Disney to release the film, and even served as executive producer. Thanks to Lasseter, Spirited Away became a global hit. But Pixar wasn't the first American company interested. 9. Disney was not Ghibli's first American option. Before Disney officially partnered with Studio Ghibli, other American studios tried to secure distribution rights. Most failed because Miyazaki refused to compromise. There's even a famous story about him sending a katana with the message, "No cuts." Whether literal or symbolic, the message was clear. The films would be released as they were, or not at all. Disney eventually agreed to those terms. And that decision preserved Spirited Away exactly as it was meant to be seen, which brings us to a voice you might recognize. 10. You know Chihiro's English voice actor. In the English dub, Chihiro is voiced by Davy Chase. At the time, she was already famous for starring in The Ring. Her performance didn't sound cartoonish. It sounded like a real kid trying to stay calm in a terrifying situation. That grounded voice helped the English version connect emotionally, especially for first-time viewers.
I'm scared.
Now just stay calm.
And that's our 10 weird facts for Spirited Away. A movie that trusts. It trusts silence. It trusts children to handle complex emotions. And it trusts that growing up is weird, scary, and beautiful all at once. Every strange detail exists for a reason. Every quiet moment carries meaning. And that's why, no matter how many times you rewatch it, the film keeps changing with you. If you enjoyed this rewind, make sure to check out our previous video breaking down Finding Nemo, another animated classic that hits way harder as an adult. Like the video if it brought back memories. Subscribe for more nostalgic rewinds into iconic movies. And tell us in the comments when you first watched Spirited Away. Because as the film itself reminds us, once you've met someone, you never really forget them. See you in the next one.